Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we are here to talk about the stock market. Today, I want to answer a question that I get all the time, and that is, how do you decide what investments you should get? There are thousands, like literally more than 3,000 different individual companies. There are probably even more ETFs and mutual funds and all this stuff out there. Some of them can lose you money, some of them can make you a lot of money. How do you choose what's what? And there are, again, hundreds, if not more, different ways of investing in different styles and different things that people use. For example, some people are technical analysis, which means they look at charts and they draw lines and do all this stuff and decide this is the stock I'm going to get, this is the price I'm going to get it, and this is the price I'm going to get out at. That works for some people. There are others who pour through financial statements and they go and look at annual reports. They see what the CEO said and they do all that type of research and they decide, look, I'm going to invest in this. There are other people that don't look at none of that and just invest on what they think is popular, or they'll look around their home and invest in that type of stuff. All of this can make you money. Some are more effective than others. I have a certain viewpoint, but aside from all of that, the most important thing that you need to choose an investment is, what is your goal? And I've talked about this a little bit before, but I want to emphasize it a bit more and give you some ideas of things you want to look into, because your goals should decide your investment strategy, period. If you are someone who is looking for income and you want to get passive income, right? You want to make sure that you're getting a yearly check, a monthly check, or what have you. There's a certain set of investments that are made for you. That's where you need to be. If you're someone who's trying to pay off your student loans pretty quickly and you're trying to get in the market and make sure that you're doing things to grow your account pretty quickly, there are certain investments for you. If you're someone who I call lazy, and I think lazy is fine. I said this on public and people get upset because I use the word lazy. If you want lazy money and you want to have your wealth grow and not have to do anything and let your money go to work so you can chill, there are investments for you. So for each of those types, I'm going to give you some starter ideas. You can take them, research them, and see what other types of investments are out there. But I want to point you in the right direction, or at least some directions that you want to investigate further. So the first one, if you are somebody, and let me know which type of person you are in the comments, because I can kind of further direct you, but I'm also curious, like, where is everybody at? What is everybody looking to do? And you can do more than one, but just know you need to have these in separate buckets and you need to know what to expect from each one of those. All right, so first, if you are somebody who wants to be lazy, you want something that's on autopilot, you want to set and forget it and not have to worry about it, you want an index fund. An index fund is an investment that holds all the stuff or big sections of things at the same time. The reason why I say that is because I can have a technology index fund and it has all the technology stocks. I get to sit back and chill. I don't really need to do anything because it's going to own the Googles. It might own a Tesla. It's going to have Microsoft. It's got all the best tech companies. So I don't need to worry about which one of these do I choose. What happens if I pick Zoom and Zoom falls? I don't need to worry about all of that. If I get the ones I like, either SPY or VTI. Those are my favorites. You can use one or the other. I do not think it makes sense to have both because you're doing the same thing twice and that makes no sense. So you can pick one or the other, whatever works best for you. But if you're somebody who, I don't want to have to check the market every day, all I want to do is come and watch Build and Break videos and mind my business, which you should be doing. You can get that and you'll be fine. You in real life, which is, I mean, this is real life. You may need one or two. So you need like a VTI for a stock index, and you might want a bond index, and you're going to be good. That's it. That's all you really need. Most 401ks are comprised of some version of that type of stuff. If you are somebody who has access to a 401k, you look at the options, they have like a life cycle fund or something that says like 2050 fund or 2030 fund. It has a year in it. Those are target date funds. And what they do is they have the mix of bond index funds for the most part and stock index funds. And they kind of change and rotate with you the older that you get, the closer that it gets to that year. So you're pretty much making your own in essence. But if you want to be lazy, you want to sit back and have your stuff on autopilot, that's where you want to be. You want to be in index funds. There is nothing wrong with that. Some people feel like it is. It's not Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He says that's where most people should be. As someone who has managed hundreds of millionaires, a lot of them go to index funds because they don't have to worry about it, and they're very, very reliable. We know on average that you're going to get 7% almost every year in an index fund on average. So last year we were at like 15, other years you get 20, some years it's down. When you average it out, you're going to be pretty good with the index fund. You almost never have to worry about, oh my God, what about GameStop? What about AMC? What about Zoom? What about Tesla? What did Elon Musk say? Who cares? You own the whole market. You're going to win either way. So that's for our lazy investors, our passive investors, the people that just want to head down autopilot and go enjoy their life. Like, you can do that. All right. So the next set of investors, actually, let me pull this up in case so I don't forget. If you're someone who's looking for income, which means I want my investments to write me a check every year, every 6 months, every quarter, you need something that is going to pay you dividends. Now, there are dividend paying companies that are out there. I'm not super huge into it, but it's not a bad thing. If I am looking, and this personal, if I am looking for dividends, I'm going to look for a REIT, real estate investment trust. One of my favorites, and there are plenty of them out there. I may have talked about this one before, is AMT, American Towers REIT. You can look that one up in your app on Public or Fidelity or wherever you are. Again, REITs have to pay, I think, 90% of their revenue, the money that they make, in dividends. So you gonna get your money, depending on which one you get. So Equinix was a popular one. I actually did make money in that one, so I actually let that one go. AMT I've had probably going on 2 years, and it's done well for me. Now, COVID was, a little rough for a lot of REITs. REITs are basically like mutual funds or ETFs for real estate. So instead of, so AMT, for example, owns like a lot of these cell towers. So with 5G coming out more and just having the proliferation, where I'm trying to say, of cell phones, like, you're gonna need that. So AMT makes a lot of money because they lease that type of stuff to AMT. So they own land for all of these cell towers. So that's how it works. AMT is not the only one. It's just one of my favorites. You can Google a list and they'll pull up the best ones out there, and you can do your own research to see which ones you like. But I prefer REITs for that income if I'm trying to get paid, and or if you want to reinvest your dividends. Why I have it, I just want to have it go and reinvest those dividends. So that's somewhere that you may want to look. Now, if you're looking for, I'm not gonna say quick money, but if you're looking for something that's gonna really accelerate your money, you're trying to increase your net worth pretty aggressively. These are the ones that you may want to take a look at, and they're pretty obvious. Like right now, you want to take a look at Tesla. You want to take a look at something like an Apple, the usual suspects. But I'm gonna give you two more that you might want to look into. SE, just the symbol S and the letter E. They're a tech company out of Singapore, and they did really, really well last year. And they're in the tech space, so they're likely to do pretty well this year. That's something that you might want to look into. Might also want to look into Square and or PayPal. I like both. My son has PayPal. If I'm not mistaken, one of the kids has PayPal. I have Square on Public. Both did incredibly well last year. 250%, if I'm not mistaken, for Square, 150% for PayPal. Again, both are very good. I think those are going to be solid companies. I put a good chunk in there because I expect that to be my highest performing investment of 2021. So if I'm looking to kind of increase and kind of master pedal down a little bit more, that's probably where I want to look. Right now, it just tends to be technology. Doesn't always have to be, but that's where I would look. One of those four companies, I think that was four companies. Yeah, I think it was four. One of those four companies, I would kind of look in that direction, see what else is out there. Also, because it's 2021, consider looking at some of those electric vehicle companies, which, Tesla is one of those. But look in that space as well. You can look into the marijuana companies, but that's just not an area that I am overly familiar with. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that I wouldn't do. I'm not going to tell you to do something that I don't know enough about. So I'm gonna be transparent. This is not a place that I'm comfortable with investing yet. If I learn more, which I do learn all the time, then we'll discuss it a bit more here. All right. Last place. If you're looking for the next big thing, you want to look into two of my favorite places are Snowflake. They IPO'd last year. Snowflake and C3 AI. The stock symbol for that last one is just A and I. I think those are going to be like the two next big things. Now, just because I say that does not mean that it's going to be the greatest thing in 2021. It may not be. But just like Amazon was regular for years, even Tesla was bland for like almost 8 to 9 years, and then it blew up. I think Snowflake and or AI are going to be those. But if that's what you're looking for, you want to look into IPOs. Again, IPOs are risky. They are risky. Anytime you're looking for the next big thing, you are taking a risk because it could be Google or it could be pets.com, right? You don't know until after the fact. What's another one? Twitter, right? We expected Twitter to be something, and it's okay, right? Facebook, it's out there, right? It's done incredibly well. Maybe DoorDash could be one. I don't think so. Maybe Uber could be one. We'll see. Trying to think of another. We saw what happened to Slack. So it really depends. But if you're looking for the next big thing, if your goal is I want to invest in the next big thing, you want to look for IPOs. They're more risky, but if you hit, then you hit. The two that I would be looking for, and I think I own both. Yeah, I did. I do have Snowflake. We talked about that, and I've got a little bit in AI through Cash App, so I got some there. But that's where I would look. If I'm looking for income, I'm looking for that dividend, stable payments, if you will, to a degree. I'm looking at REITs. In this case, it would be AMT. If I'm looking to just really accelerate with something that's more predictable to a degree, but I'm trying to accelerate my wealth, I'm looking at Apple. I think Warren Buffett has like more than 40% of all his money in Apple, which is a little much for me, but it works, right? So you want to look at the Apples of the world, the Teslas of the world, that space there. I brought up Square, brought up C, symbol SE. That's what you want to look at. And then you want to look at index funds. If you're somebody that says, hey, look, I'm passive. I want to sit back and chill. So VTI or SPY. Those aren't the only ones out there. Those are just the two that come to mind, the two that are most popular. All right. So start with what your goals are. Then you want to have those goals, choose those investments. Now, if you say I fall into a bunch of these buckets, that's fine. You want to make sure that those investments line up with those goals. In some cases, you can have these in separate accounts. So if I'm looking to trade, I'm trying to make some money very quickly, I have a whole separate account for that. That's why I use TD for. All my trading money is at TD. That's all it's for. I don't want to mix that up with my IRA. Them two separate goals, right? My IRA is for long-term stuff. That's why I need my Apple, I need my index funds there. I don't need my trading stuff to be mixed with that. So make sure that you kind of have them in separate buckets. Maybe you want to title those accounts certain things so that you know this is what it's for, and it's not for play money. It's not to try to flip and do a whole bunch of stuff with. All right, so that is it for me. Let me know in the comments, what type of investor are you? What type of investments do you think line up with those goals? Again, those are just ideas for you to go and research more. Obviously, you can find out more in the 2021 investing yearbook. That link is buildingbread.com/2021 if you want to check that out. Now, I want to tell you one last thing before I go for real. Make sure that you hit the link above for the email list, or below if you're on YouTube. I will be teaching a new course. I want to roll it out end of February, early March. We're going to talk about creating your six-figure investing strategy, your six-figure investing plan. Why 6 figures? Why not 7, right? You got to get the 6 first. And there's actually a magic number that you need that you can attain. You can actually get this number that really accelerates your wealth. So I'm not going to tell you what that number is. So you do want to make sure you sign up. I will be announcing those spots with the dates, all that stuff on the email list in the next few weeks. But you got to sign up for the email list. So it's buildingbread.com/free. That link will be in the description. Make sure you sign up now because spots will be limited. And I can't be teaching 80 million people at the same time. So make sure you sign up. And that's it for me. For real this time. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.